tea, the milkman, the paperboy, the evening TV. Everywhere you look, there's a heart.
Welcome back, YouTubers. I am Jason Wersema. This is the best damn fantasy football channel on YouTube. This is Tankers Fantasy Football, and as you see, my boy Travis is out on assignment today. He's out there playing with his pud. So I got old Trusty the Bear out here to be my co-pilot for this boom and bust episode. Before we get into all of that, I got to talk about the listener league. Now, we filled the first listener league. We said we were only going to do one. We got a few people interested that didn't get in. So I'm thinking about loading up a second one. So if you are down trying to get another 12-team, full-point, PPR, 2-flex league filled up, another second listener league, we're talking about giving away koozies to the highest score of each week. And then, you know, I haven't really figured out a grand prize, league winner prize situation, but for now we do have the koozie situation going to Everett for the high score. Each week we will be sending out one, maybe even two koozies to their address once they have told us so. So if you are interested in that, leave your email in the comment section below, or email us at tankersfantasyfootball@gmail.com, as you see there on the screen. All right, and before we get into that, also another little thing, Josh Gordon is back. Oh my goodness. And I know, I mean, I did a 12-team big money league, $350 league, big money tournament league, 12-teamer, like 5 days before the news broke that he had reported he was going second pick of the fifth. And I did another 12-teamer last night, same kind of league, and he was going like second to last pick of the fourth. So it's not really moving him up very much since he's come back to training camp. But if you're talking about early 5th round pick Josh Gordon, I mean, the upside is there. And he, you know, I made this list before he did return, but he could easily have been on the boom side of this going in that early 5th round. If he plays all 16 games, I mean, he's got some serious wide receiver one upside going in that late 4th, early 5th round. But let's get into the bust right now. We're going to start it off with Alex Collins. And I know he went out there, the Seahawks cut him, he went to the Ravens. He had a pretty fucking solid year out there. Second half of the season, solid RB2 in action. But I mean, I just don't like the cut of his jib. I look more and more at his film. He's not really a cut on a dime kind of player. He kind of does this like stutter step cut where he's got to plant his foot like 2 or 3 times before he really gets his momentum going back in the direction that he's trying to go. And I just don't know. I just don't know if I'm looking at that average draft position. I'm looking at that middle of the 3rd round. He's going that 8th pick of the 3rd round of these 12-team leagues, and I'm looking at it, and guys that are going after him, I think I'm like every one of these guys. I mean, I've kind of been a Derrick Henry hater in the past, but I think that new offensive system, that move one cut and go, is more of a Derrick Henry kind of fucking thing. So I think Derrick Henry, you know, I think him going a few picks later than Alex Collins, I think that's the type of guy I would rather get up on. Kenyon Drake, who has flashed strong in preseason thus far. I mean, Frank Gore is kind of, you know, there. People are talking about him. I'm not really that afraid of Frank Gore. That Kalen Balaj, the rookie, he's been getting kicked out of huddles by Ryan Tannehill. When you're getting kicked out of huddles by Ryan Tannehill, I'm not really afraid of you anymore either. So we're talking about I'd much rather go Kenyon Drake over Alex Collins as well. Guys like Jay Ajayi, people are more afraid of. He's going more around that middle of the 4th, late 4th. Definitely rather get myself some Jay Ajayi. And then you get into a guy like even like a Marshawn Lynch, who's going like full 2, maybe even 3 rounds later. I got him in the late 6th round of that 12-teamer I was talking about. I got him in the 3rd to last pick of the 6th round last night in that 12-teamer. So you're talking about 3 rounds later. I'd much rather have Marshawn Lynch on my team than Alex Collins. Another bust we're looking at Corey Davis going in that early 6th round. I know the hype train, I mean, they are just flying out there for the Corey Davis. But I mean, Taywan Taylor, he's actually looked fairly solid in camp. Had that huge 2-touchdown preseason game the other week, and I'm just not sold on this late 5th, early 6th round Corey Davis in this full point PPR. I mean, if you're talking about a shot in the dark, a guy I mean, he could come up out of nowhere and help you win games, but he could also shit all over your fantasy team. If you're talking about taking a shot on a Tennessee Titan wide receiver, I think we could wait a full 10 rounds. I mean, Taywan Taylor, I got him in like the 17th round last night. We're talking about a guy going almost undrafted out there, even after his 2 touchdown game. That was like a few hours after that 2 touchdown game, so the word was out on that even. I still got him like a full 10, 11 rounds later than Corey Davis. So you're looking to take a risk on a Tennessee Titan wide receiver, I would definitely lean toward Taylor. I mean, he's just a guy who you could just almost just throw. I mean, even if he doesn't pan out, you could just like throw him away. It's insane. I mean, you know, like 16th, 17th, 18th round pick. I mean, the type of guy like that, he doesn't pan out, you just throw him away, you know, ain't no thing. But you throw a late 5th, early 6th at a guy who doesn't pan out, that could almost tank your fucking season out there. So definitely, I am not a big guy on Corey Davis. I know if you fucking you're Corey Davis believer, you know, hit me in the comment section below. Tell me I'm a fuck job or whatever. I don't fucking care. But I am not looking to be drafting Corey Davis in the late 5th, early 6th round of any of these 12-team leagues. Another wide receiver I got on the bust list. We're talking about a Bear. Just to prove to you that me and the Bear here are not fucking Homer Deluxes. We got Allen Robinson on the bust list. He's going late 4th, early 5th, kind of that 3rd pick of the 5th, I think is his average draft position. But I mean, if you're looking at it, I mean, I'm just so afraid. I mean, people are drafting him like he's a guaranteed wide receiver too, and I just don't fucking know if that is the case. I mean, he had that huge year in 2015. 2016 came back to earth hardcore, like barely cracking like 800 yards. Got only like 6 touchdowns coming down from that 14 touchdowns 2015. Only got the 6 touchdowns in 2016, and then he goes out and catches 1 target in 2017, tears his ACL in the first game, and he's done for the year. So he's coming off a shit year of the hype train that hype was building. He got the shit year in 2016, coming off the ACL, coming to a team where we're not sure the identity of this offense shit. I mean, I know people are high, a lot of Bears fans, you know, we're out there, we're all about the Mitchell Trubisky, but I am just not sure if I am fucking on that train. Talking about late 4th, early 5th round, talking about a guy who's going to be a weekly starter for your fantasy team, week in and week out, possibly wide receiver 2 action. I'm just not sure if I'm looking to have a Chicago Bear wide receiver and penciled in as my every week starter. I just can't get about it, because you look at guys that are going slightly after him or right around like kind of the same area. Look at Chris Hogan. I think I'd much rather have Chris Hogan guaranteed those red zone targets. He had like 1 fewer red zone target than the red zone beast Rob Gronkowski last year, and he played like 4 or 5 fewer games. So we're talking about a guy who's going to be heavily targeted in the red zone. And you know, even when Edelman comes back, I am not afraid of Chris Hogan can stay on the field. I think you're looking at wide receiver 2 finish easy for the Hulkster over a guy like Allen Robinson. Oh, right. And yeah, other guys going around him. Who we got? We got Josh Gordon, you know, boom, kind of a boom player talking about earlier. Boom bust kind of guy, but I'd rather take the risk on a Josh Gordon. Brandon Cooks also going in that same area. Much rather take a look at a Brandon Cooks. And then we're talking about Corey Davis being that bust earlier. He's going in that 6th round. I'm talking about, you know, if you're looking to take a shot at a 2nd-year wide receiver, I got a guy here. I mean, he's going about 4 or 5 rounds later than Corey Davis. Talking about Mike Williams. I mean, he only had that 1 target in that last preseason game, but that was about the most beastliest damn touchdown I've seen in a while out there from a preseason game. I mean, that was some bad assery out there. You look at Mike Williams going in the 10th round. So if you're looking at taking that chance on that 2nd-year wide receiver, trying to get more of that target share, I think Mike Williams will be getting a lot more of that target share. We're talking about a lot of, especially red zone targets, what Hunter Henry's done for the year. Talking about Antonio Gates out of town. Talking about maybe re-signing him, but that shit hasn't happened yet. So, I mean, we're talking about a guy, Mike Williams, and I'm not really a Tyrell Williams believer. I think he's more of a jag, just another guy, kind of fucking bumski. So we're looking at Mike Williams. He's going around guys like Kenny Stills. I mean, come on. People are like, this is the year for Kenny Stills. Fuck all that. This ain't the fucking year for fucking Kenny Stills. Sterling Shepard was just a guy who got all that love late last season because Odell Beckham was out. I think Sterling Shepard's target share is got nowhere to go but down. Evan Ingram's got a year of maturity. He's got the 2nd year. He's coming in. OBJ He's coming back, so he's going to be getting at least 150 targets. They drafted Saquon Barkley, a pass-catching running back, so you know he's going to get his share of targets. I just don't think there's enough for Sterling Shepard to be able to get into that back in wide receiver 2, maybe even that solid flex play. I don't think he can even be a solid flex play for you. I think a guy like Mike Williams can go out there and win you leagues. And I mean, talking about a guy going right around my guy like Mike Williams, talking about fucking play to piss deluxe, talking about fucking play to piss, fucking just deluxe. Talking about Devontae Parker going right around Mike Williams. You're gonna take fucking Devontae Parker over Mike Williams. You shouldn't even be fucking playing fantasy football, buddy, because that is some fucking dick shittery. I'm also talking about a guy like Cameron Meredith. Some people are high on him. Not me so much. I don't think he's as bad as like a Devontae Parker, but I would definitely take Mike Williams over him in that 10th round as well. Another boom. We got a guy who just started playing in 2 wide sets. The coach says it's just blah, 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 blah. But that's fucking just coach speak in my eyes. I think they're looking to get Kenny Golladay more into that 2 wide set. And if that's the case, if he's in an all 2 wide and 3 wide sets, I think there's no way that Kenny Golladay doesn't just pay you way up. He's like 12th, 13th round average draft position. And we're talking about a guy who could go out there and play that many snaps if he's out there in those 2 wide sets. I think Kenny Golladay is just all fucking in, baby. Kenny Golladay in that 12th, 13th round. You got to get up on that. And our last guy, I mean, if you're out there and you've gone tight end and quarterback earlier, you know, in the first 6, 7 rounds, and your guy likes his wide receivers, you got that one running back in, the water is fucking running dry, baby, and you are just fucking starving for an RB2. I got just the guy for you, and I'm talking about Peyton Barber, baby. And oh, baby, I mean, we're talking about a guy who's going in the mid-9th round, pick 6 of the fucking 9th round. Ronald Jones is supposed to come in town, steal all the sex. Well, he's gotten more fucking carries than yards in the preseason, and his running back coach came out fucking today talking about, oh, there's a reason why Ronald didn't catch passes in college. Oh my fuck, you got a fucking coach shitting on the quality of your pass catching skills, bud? That is bad fucking news. And also got Charles Sim, he's hurt now. Jaquez Rogers is like the fucking next man up, so I don't think that's a threat to Peyton Barber whatsoever. I think at least to start the season, we got some Peyton Barber action. So if he can go out there and love it sexy and look good, I don't think there's any way they're going to pull the reins back on him, baby. So we're talking about a guy who's going in the middle of the 9th round who could go out there and easily save your life with an RB2 if you've just waited and let the water run dry. A guy like Peyton Barber could easily just go out there and save your fucking life, baby. So if we're out there, you know, you like the cut of your jib, this is your first time watching the show, you like the cut of my jib, give us a subscribe, give us a share, like, comment below, all that good shit, baby. And remember, if you want to get in that listener league, comment with your email below or email us at tankersfantasyfootball@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Cheeseburger.